What is going on? Presenting here back with another Honkai style video, and today we're going to be talking about the potential reruns of the 3.2 update. So there is some pretty reliable info going around on what we should be seeing in the 3.2 updates. So in this video I'm going to be talking about them and what I do think. Maybe if you guys are unaware with this info going around, you'll learn what is kind of happening in this video. As I'm not going to lie, if this does end up being the final reruns, it is absolutely insane. And I do wonder how a lot of people will be thinking about all these reruns. But yeah, before I get into the video, drop a like, drop a sub, hit the bell icon for future videos like this, and let's just get straight into it. So I did say this is pretty reliable info going around, but obviously this is still just info going around the internet. The final reruns that we do see on the 3.2 stream, whenever that does happen around the near last bit of the 3.1 update, when we see the reruns on that live stream, that is going to be the rerunning characters of that update. That's going to be so you know who's officially coming out. Best thing you can do is to wait for that stream so you exactly know who's going to be coming out. This is once again just info going around, so be sure to take it with a grain of salt, albeit, as I said, this is a little more reliable, so you can most likely expect practically all of these. Maybe one or two might be different, happened in the past, but again, I'm just here to provide you guys info. So once again, take it with a grain of salt. So first, to get away with the known info, we already know 3.2 is going to have two new characters, the first half being Castris and the second half being Anaxa. Since you know that's how the drip marketed, the way the drip marketed is usually the release order, so Castris was first, so that practically is guaranteed for the fact that she's going to be in the first half, while Anaxa was second drip marketed, so that practically confirms him being on the second half. So that's just the info we do know, but when it does come to the actual reruns, it does seem like we are getting another return of the triple rerun format, and that is going to be on the first half, while the second half with the Anaxa is just going to be a singular character. So it's not going to be the insane thing we had in 3.0 where we had double triple reruns, but rather one and then one normal format. But from the info going around, it does seem like the characters that are going to be rerunning during the triple rerun, so the first half with Castris, is going to be Acheron, which is really interesting because she did not rerun that long ago. She reran in 2.6 already. Another character is actually finally going to be Jiaoqiu, which running them together is crazy because I know a lot of people skipped him and now a lot of people want him. So if you don't have both, and that's going to be even more brutal now. And then the third one, if this is real, finally the return of Dr. Ratio. If you guys don't know, past 1.6, if you did not get the free Dr. Ratio, you had absolutely no way to get him, his dupes, or his Lycone, because he has not gone to banner for the entire 2.0 update, or updates, so 2.0 all the way to 2.7. Now in 3.0 and 3.1, there has been no rerun of Dr. Ratio with no ways of getting him for free, or just summoning for him in general, as if he does rerun, I highly doubt they're going to give him out for free again. That was for a specific thing that happened back in 1.6. So unfortunately, even though he is technically a free limited 5-star character, I highly doubt he's going to be able to be given out for free again. But for anyone that's been really wanting him, or maybe even wanted to pick up his Lycone, or for whatever reason you do want to go for dupes, it does seem like he is finally going to be one of the characters that will be finally rerunning during the 3.2 first half. So if all this does end up actually being the real deal, it's definitely going to seem like a very, very packed update. I don't know how I feel about Acheron if she is there to be one of the ones rerunning, because again, in 2.6 she already reran, and that was with the Rappa update where it was just Rappa and then 3 total reruns. It wasn't 2 new characters for once. Then we had 2.7 with Sunday and Fugue, then 3.0 with Herda and Aglia, and now we're in 3.1 with Tribi and Mide, and now we're gonna have Castris and the return of Acheron again. You can't say because it is the 3.2 and it is the anniversary update pretty much, it's going to tie into how Acheron was practically the anniversary unit along with Aventurine last year. Since it's the same time slot and they're kind of like the same unit in that case, for being the super special unit, they're gonna rerun together. So you know, if you missed last year or you maybe missed 2.6, then you have the chance to get it again and around the same time slot. That might be their mindset with that, I'm not entirely sure. But the crazy part is finally bringing back Jiaoqiu with another Acheron rerun. Just because, as we do know, Jiaoqiu with Acheron is so much more powerful. Jiaoqiu is her best partner by far, and he actually has not gotten a rerun since 2.4. It's been a while. Acheron is getting her second rerun along the time it did take for him to get his first, because Acheron again reran in 2.6 and would now be getting another one in 3.2, while Jiaoqiu released in 2.4 and has not gotten a rerun since. Not only is Acheron technically rerunning faster, but is also being reran with her best partner being Jiaoqiu. So if you already have your Acheron done, you already maybe even have E2, or you just don't plan on getting any dupes, you just want to get Jiaoqiu, then that's completely fine. Perfect for you, you can just pick them up. But if you're someone that maybe plan to eventually get Acheron and Jiaoqiu, that's going to be pretty brutal. You're probably going to have to delay your plans by a bit thanks to this. But yeah, finally the return of Dr. Ratio, especially as I mentioned, he has not come back since 1.6. He had his banner, he had his Lycone banner, he was given out for free. I think it was the end of the 2.2 update where you were no longer able to get him anymore. And a lot of players did start after that, so I know a lot of people that actually don't have Dr. Ratio now. Not sure how well the banners will do, because once he was free, so a lot of people do have him, but a lot of people don't have him. Dr. Ratio is still a really strong unit, but there's obviously, you know, a lot more units, a lot stronger units, a lot more priority units that people want these days. His premium team, he's technically booted up by Feixiao because she is technically way better on that team. But there's still a lot of people that really like Dr. Ratio. I've been waiting for him for a while, maybe even saving for dupes, maybe even going crazy for E6, you know, the people that save for E6 on units specifically. So the few of you that are like that, you are definitely going to be very happy to know that he is probably coming back in 3.2 finally. But finally, enough about that. So we do see the triple reruns for the first half. Who is going to be the one character rerunning in the second half? And it does seem like the second half character is going to be Aventurine. I, again, don't know why, as both Acheron and Aventurine reran in 2.6. If they're rerunning again because, you know, anniversary time slot, just like how they were when they released last year. That's the only idea I can think of because, you know, there practically isn't really any other reason. You know, that's just it. Starro has been pretty irregular in how they do actually plan their reruns. They just kind of throw whatever together, so I guess that's practically it. There's not really a reason specifically why they are rerunning. And they're not really known to release characters with super good synergy. They release them side by side. They have a few times, like how they did release Firefly and rerun Run Mei beside her. Technically, with also Yunli releasing, they also rerun Popo, which was her best sustain. There were times, but it's not always the case. But alas, we don't actually know why specifically those reasons. So yeah, once again, for the first half, the return of the triple rerun format with bringing Dr. Ratio, Acheron, and Jiaoqiu, while the second half does seem like it's going to bring back Aventurine. This is definitely a very stacked update because Castress is going to be a character that's going to be summoned on a lot, as she is like the main hyped up unit. So she herself is probably going to be really big, and a lot of people are going to be wanting to get her. When it comes to the reruns, Acheron is probably going to be a character that, until it has rerun more times, is probably going to be someone that is summoned on a lot as well, especially since she gets such a big power jump at E2. A lot of people don't have her at E2, so they're going to try to push for that E2. Maybe they're saving for it. And alongside that is her best partner, Jiaoqiu, which makes her so much stronger. And since he was a very skip better at the time, I know a lot of people probably don't have him. So this time, a lot of people are probably going to plan to actually snag him so they don't do it again. And when it comes to Dr. Ratio himself, again, I'm not really sure how many people are going to want to summon for him now. Still a strong unit, definitely not as priority as other units anymore. There still will be people summoning regardless because a lot of people probably have saved for dupes specifically for him. Maybe want to get his Lycone this time around. But I definitely think out of the first half being Castress, Ratio, Acheron, and Jiaoqiu, I feel like he's probably going to be the least summoned on if that is the case. Just because, again, the other characters would probably have more priority or more value overall. And then when it comes to second half being a Noxa and Aventurine, I don't know how many people are actually going to summon for a Noxa, as he seems pretty interesting on his own so far. And I'm actually not sure how much people summon for Aventurine anymore, since he is still one of the best, if not still the best sustain. Seeing a bit less value as we are getting more to an HP drain meta, where obviously you don't want to use shields. You can still use them with another meta team like Aglia, but the only issue with Aglia is she can expire shields, and then you never use them on break in the first place. Those are practically the only teams you don't really use them on. But anywhere else, he's insane. Like with the Herta team, he's great. That's on a follow-up team. Since, you know, he's just known for practically making your team never die, he's still going to be insane even if he gets booted down a little bit, since we might go to more HP scaling / HP drain meta, or whatever specific stuff we do, he's still going to be insane. So I'm not sure how many people are going to summon for him. I actually didn't see how many people went for his rerun banner, since I know when he did officially release, a lot of people did end up skipping him. I know by the rerun, a lot of people were like, damn, I really wish to summon for him. So I know a lot of people did summon for him, but I'm not sure how big the number was. But I'm sure he's still going to be a pretty summon on unit because he's still insanely broken, still sustains your team very well, still has no trouble doing it, and is most likely going to remain that way for a good long more while. And if you already have him, maybe you want to go for his Lycone. He has great free-to-play options, but with his Lycone is really good. I didn't even talk about that for the first part yet. The Lycones for someone like Acheron, especially if you didn't get Acheron's Lycone, that it's like really bad. So I'm sure anyone that's missing a Lycone will definitely prioritize that. But with Aventurine, he has a lot more options. So I'm sure some people will summon on that. Maybe they're even going to get the E1 because his E1 is so good. It gives everyone with the shield free 20% crit damage, and practically makes it to where you never need to skill again, because now his ultimate will give you an equal effect of the skill. But we will see if this does end up becoming the reruns that we do get. And yeah, that is the video. That is the 3.2 actual reruns that does seem like we are going to be getting. Once again, this is all info circulating the internet, so take it all with a grain of salt. It could be completely different. It could be maybe the same, but maybe one or two are different. Best thing you can do is to wait for the official stream, because whatever they post on that stream and show it live, those are going to be the guaranteed characters that will be rerunning. But if these are, or mostly are, the characters that would be rerunning, definitely let me know what you guys think. Will you guys be pulling for any of these characters or their dupes or the Lycones? Definitely let me know. Thankfully for me personally, I think I'm good on any of them. Very situationally, maybe I'll get Jiaoqiu's E1, but that's about it. For the rest, I'm fine. But yeah, again, let me know. Peace out.